Well, hello there, Leo. It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Today, we are doing your September General Tarot reading. So we'll take a look at the overall energies for the month with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create or resonating with the message, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. Okay, so let's get into this. Hard to believe we are already here in September, but here it is. So we'll get into this. All right, Goddess of Dreams, Vision, Intuition, Receptivity. Oh my goodness. You know, this is very much that High Priestess energy of, seeing the future, seeing what is it's more like seeing what is coming to you. To me, there's very much a lioness type of energy with her. And gender doesn't matter. It's this, the High Priestess, it's almost a little bit too of, I'm getting the Empress energy, a little bit of that energy of just seeing, of knowing what is coming towards you. Look at how keen her eyes are, right? It's kind of like, yeah, I know what's coming. It's almost as if I see it, and so I know it's coming. Coyote spirit, trust in divine detours. And then we have crossing bridges. It is time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. I feel as if you're getting ready to cross a bridge, going from one chapter of life into another chapter. So ending one cycle, starting a new cycle. And when you do, you have to, cross this bridge. You have to go over this bridge. I feel like there's a little bit of a detour coming up. It's almost as if there's almost this energy of somebody saying you have to pay a toll before you can cross the bridge. Troll. Like a troll underneath the bridge. There's some type of detour. I feel like this is a person that is coming into your life. It's a little bit of a detour. Interesting energy. A little bit of a detour, but it is divinely guided. Okay, it does not mean that this person is going to stay into your life. It's almost as if they're coming in to, to give you some wisdom that you are going to need, some knowledge, some wisdom, teach you some lesson that you will need before you go over here. I do not play video games, but I know that when my children were younger and living at home, and they would play some of those video games where you have to finish out certain things in one land before you can go to the next land. So maybe you have to collect so many treasures or something, or coins or something like that before you can go over to the next land, before this land opens up for you. And it's kind of like, I feel like it's a little bit like that. Say you have to have 10 gems or something before this next land opens up. You have 9. And I think you're kind of wandering around over here trying to find another gem. You're getting maybe a little bit frustrated. And this person comes in. They give you the 10th gem, or they tell you where the 10th gem is so that you can open up this world. Really, really interesting. Now, I feel with this, okay, it's kind of like you may be trying to unlock your intuition so you can find this 10th gem. Very spiritual energy here. Very spiritual. Trying to tap into your intuition maybe to try to find the 10th gem. Yeah, you're ready for this. Yeah, you're thinking. I think you're trying to figure out where the gem, right? could be the clarity that you're seeking about what is next on your path, or trying to figure out. Sometimes when we're going from one chapter of our life to the next, we haven't finished out a lesson, but maybe sometimes we don't actually realize what the lesson is, right? So it's kind of like we're stumbling around. We're working really hard trying to cross the bridge, and yet at the same time, we can't cross the bridge until we finish that lesson. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, professional assistance on the bottom. Okay, so to me, this is sometimes a signal that you do need help from somebody else before you can cross this bridge. It says it's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. But I really feel like it's more of an energy to me of gaining something, gaining some wisdom or knowledge, maybe a truth. Maybe you need to gain a truth. Chariot on the bottom. Lots of victory and progress on your way. Yeah, something is balancing out. We have the Justice card. Could be dealing with a Libra, but you don't have to. This is Cancer energy. You have to balance something out in order to move forward. So you have to balance something out. So it could have something to do with healing or mending. So we have for your present energy, we're going to start with your present energy. You have the poised. See, I feel like you think you're ready for this next chapter. You think you're ready. I remember this time in my life when I was really frustrated because I thought I was ready for the next chapter of my life. And I kept, saying to my guides and my angels, like, why isn't it opening up? I'm ready. I feel like you think you're ready, right? You feel like you're ready. And yet at the same time, you have the teacher and you have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is that difficult energy of, this card has been coming up a lot about, there's this shadow in the back, a shadow that you're trying to leave behind. This is some, disappointment. It could be a romantic connection, but it can be any disappointment. A job didn't work out the way that you thought it would. A career didn't work out. A house you purchased didn't work out. Something that you had in your life is a disappointment. It didn't work out the way that you were hoping it would work out. So you've moved on from it, okay, a little bit because, this is the Five of Swords. The Four of Swords is about healing. You've done some healing. You've done some reflecting. You're trying to move away from this shadow. And yet at the same time, you're not to the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is actively moving away. It's as if this energy, okay, is still holding on to you. You're trying to move away, but every time you take a step away, the shadow is following you. So it's kind of like, well, I'm trying, right? I'm poised. Look, she's trying to run. She's trying to run, but she's not going anywhere. She's like a statue. She wants to run away from the shadow, right? But here is the problem. She's like a statue. She can't move. And she can't move because there's something that you still have to learn. This is where this teacher comes in. This is where this divine detour, this is where the troll comes out and gives you the 10th gem. So let's go ahead and clarify that because I feel like this could be, okay, we have professional assistance, loving woman, and increase. And then vast universe. Okay, so you have this is coming in, Leo. Okay, so it's about partly believing that this is coming in, believing you can find the 10th gem, believing that you can get away from the shadow, believing that you can learn this last lesson. It could mean that you do need some help, okay? So maybe it is that you do need a lawyer, okay, with the Justice card. Maybe you need a lawyer to help you to move from, one land to the next, right? It could be with the loving woman here. It could be an energy of having to say goodbye to somebody. And when I say goodbye to somebody, it doesn't mean that you actually have to call them up or have a conversation. Sometimes that's a ritual, a ceremony that we can do for ourselves, where we say, okay, shadow, I'm done. You're staying here and I'm moving on without you. So we have the autumn equinox coming up in the northern hemisphere around the 21st of September, and the 7th in the southern hemisphere it would be the spring equinox. It's a time of change, where we're going from one season to the next. I feel like this is kind of like saying, like at the end of, I'm getting ready for the end of summer, moving into autumn, right? Saying goodbye to the summer. Think about the things that we do. We change the clothes in our closet, right? We put away the summer clothes and we bring out the fall clothes. We put away the daisies and that type of thing, and we bring out the mums, right? We in the area that I live, we start putting out scarecrows and fall decorations. We put away the summer decorations. And we start putting out the fall decorations. I feel like there's something you have to say goodbye to this shadow. You have to say, okay, you are staying here. Part of it could be that maybe you're hoping the shadow is going to follow you, especially if this is a person. You're hoping somewhere down deep inside maybe that this person is going to come back or something like that. Now you realize, no, wait a minute, the shadow has to stay. I have a bright, happy future on the other side of this bridge, but it's about saying goodbye to that. And it could be maybe, you have to talk to a financial person, or maybe, for some of you, maybe it is about a therapist or a counselor about, how do I say goodbye to this? How do I finally, some of you may want to think about Reiki healing or energy cord cuttings or something like that. Taking a look at, okay, how do I move out away from the shadow? How do I completely detach myself? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're going to have victory over this. So Leo, keep that in mind. But see, you have the fears, the lingering fears of this difficult ending. You have something that was really difficult. It ended. And yet at the same time, you're having a hard time choosing from your heart. With the Lover's card, this is Gemini energy. You have some strong energies coming in here. We are in Mars in Gemini. Gemini is all about communicating, the words that we use. So I feel as if there's a little bit of this energy of moving into choosing from your heart, using the words of what your heart desires, okay, instead of worrying about the shadow is going to follow me for the rest of my life. Yeah, that's a little bit of a difficult energy, but I think you're moving through this, okay? Especially by the time of the equinox, which is like 3 weeks from now. And I know 3 weeks can seem like a long time, but sometimes, it really is just a blip, but it's kind of like this energy of really perhaps having to, look around where you are at this time on that land for that 10th gem, right? And really having almost like the Gemini had a very strong energy of this a few weeks ago, of having a funeral, literally a funeral for the dream of what you are leaving behind. Okay, so this could be, a relationship, a marriage, a long-term committed relationship that ended. It's not just that relationship, that person that you miss, right? It's also the dream of what that had to play in your life. So say you were married and you had children together or something like that. It's the dream of our family being united for a very long time. For some of you, you could have lost a parent recently. There's this strong energy of, it's Leo, it's this energy of things are never going to be like they were. There's an intense sadness in my heart right now because I feel like it's not just this person, this situation that isn't going to be in your life. It's also understanding the dream, the reality that life is never going to be the way it was before, that you are crossing over into a new chapter without this person, without this situation, without this job, whatever it is. It's intense. And you have done so much healing for it, about it, right? But at the same time, it's kind of like it's lingering there. It's lingering. And it's about, okay, now I am going to start choosing from my heart and not from my fears of, I mean, this is really such intense energy. My heart really goes out to you because it's this energy of, I mean, I can only say, like, when my father passed, I was really close to him. When he passed, it took months for me to actually really understand, like in my soul, right, in my heart, that he was no longer going to be in this life with me, right? It's really a difficult energy. And so I feel like you have, whatever has ended has been difficult because it's not just that person. It's, to me, it wasn't like, okay, I realize I can't call dad up and talk to him anymore. I can't get a hug from him anymore. But it was also like, he's not going to see my granddaughters grow up. He's not going to be at my daughter's wedding, It's the dream of bigger than just having the person in your life. It's, I read once that grief is really not about losing that person. It's about having the love for that person, and now you're having a hard time. You can't share the love that you have, like I had for my dad. I couldn't share that with him anymore. So the grief is really about you have love in your heart and you have no one at that time to share it with. As you move on down, as you cross this bridge, you will have new people to love in your life. At this time, that person isn't here, so you're still missing this other relationship or situation. So let's take a look at your area of resistance or your obstacle. Yeah, you are a treasure. I feel like you feel as if this person helped you to be a treasure, or this person was a treasure. It's coming into the realization that you are a treasure. So it's as if, you have the Five of Wands here. It's a little bit about being in your head. You have to go into this new world, but it's like, what am I going to take? You could be concerned that there's more conflict ahead, but your ascended masters, are here to help you do this crossing, to bring in this person that I think is going to help you. Yeah. Oh my gosh, 10 of Cups on the bottom. Yeah, you're walking into a new world. I think if anything I could say to you, it's about the hope of what you have on the other side of this bridge. What you're going through right now may be a little painful because you have the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands, but it's understanding that you are coming into this new world with the Two of Wands. You're going in a new direction, and it is, look, with the sun and the star, it's so much healing and joy and abundance on the other side. For some of you, I'm going to come back to this because you have these two. For some of you, you could be waiting, for a divorce settlement or something like that. Or you could be waiting, like if you had somebody pass, waiting on, like a will to be, or an estate, an inheritance to be settled. There's almost this sense of something has to be settled. And it could be, it could be, say you were in some type of a terrific, car accident or something, waiting for an insurance payment or settlement of some sort. There's a strong sense that, if something has happened, my life is never going to be the same. But what you also have to realize is that it's actually things happen, tower moments happen, terrible things happen, right? That also open up new worlds to us that are really spectacular and wonderful. I mean, when my father passed and, it took me a while to cross this bridge and, I still miss him. But wonderful things came out of, some of the things that I had to go through, the people that I met, I went to a grief support group, when we go through something like that, we're kind of a little bit focused still on what we have lost, but then all of a sudden we start seeing the silver linings of something that was difficult, where we start seeing, oh, wait a minute, it has helped to open up new avenues to my life. Because this is your advice. Spirit just wants you to know, your ascended masters just want you to know, just to keep on believing, okay? Keep the hope alive. I know it can sometimes be hard when you're in the gray, the black and the white here, the colorless life that you may be in at this time. It's about keeping your heart open, knowing better things are on your path. It's about I'm going to just keep walking forward, into this colorful world. See, you're crossing this bridge, right? You're in this in-between part. So you haven't quite yet left the dark world and completely in the bright. So sometimes when we're in that in-between, the problem is that one day we could be dealing with this energy, right? And then the next day we're all happy. But we go back and forth because we haven't quite all the way crossed into the happy world. Sometimes too, when we're crossing over, because something new hasn't come into our life yet, we tend to have our energy go back to what we knew, even if it was a difficult relationship or situation, right? It's kind of like, well, I know what that world is. So, we kind of like, well, I'll just stay over here. This crossing is taking too long. It's almost like it's taking too long. Because look at what we have here. Hidden motivations. And we have the star. Now, it's interesting because the hidden motivations, okay, you see the children playing there, right? I feel like part of this is to help you open up to your inner child, what it is that you're really wanting, what you are wishing and dreaming for. It's about keeping even if you're not sharing this, you're keeping it a little bit secret, right? Because see how she's protecting her heart. It's kind of like, I'm really wishing for something to come in. The star card is all about wishes being granted, putting our wishes out into the universe, trying to manifest what it is that our heart truly desires. Coming back to this Lover's card, that's about our heart truly desires. But you're also protecting it. You see how she has her arms crossed across her heart. It's sometimes we're not yet ready to share what it is that we're hoping to bring into our life. So let's clarify this. Yeah, oh my gosh. Leo, please just hold on. It's coming through. Ace of Cups. This is you stepping into your heart space. Allowing, with this energy, sometimes this is all up in our head. We're still in our head. We're thinking about the past. We're thinking about the painful experience. But it's about, okay, I'm trying to stay in my heart space. What is it I'm looking forward to instead of what am I leaving behind? What am I looking forward to? Yeah, I feel like you're getting some type of information. I feel like this is your gem. It could be a truth from somebody. It could be finally getting the divorce papers. It could be the inheritance, the insurance settlement. There's some type of truth, some news that is coming in, and it helps you to quickly move forward from turbulent times into calmer times with the Six of Swords, and then the Fool card, right? It's kind of like my new beginning has started. Yeah, it's really difficult. I think for, some of you, it could be, oh my goodness, the same thing. Oh my gosh, over and over again. Look at the universe bringing in a windfall. The Ace of Swords now. I think it's you stepping into your truth of knowing my new chapter has started, right? The Judgment card. Once again, I feel like you're waiting on some type of judgment, some final message that something has ended, I mean, I know when I went through my divorce, that time between, when you file for divorce and then it's finally over, it's difficult, right? Because you can't yet quite start your new life as a single person, and yet at the same time you're not married, right? It's kind of like that is a very hard time. I feel like this information comes in, the judgment is made, somebody is okay, this is finalized, and then look, Three of Cups, you're celebrating. It happened, it works out for you, Leo, okay? So for some of you, you could be concerned about a settlement or, some kind of legal situation, or it could even be you're waiting for a job offer to come in, you're between jobs. You've ended one job for one reason. You're trying to start a new job. You haven't heard. The information comes in. Yes, we've chosen you, and you're celebrating, right? Or you put an offer on a house or something like that. You're wanting to move. You get the information. The good news comes in. It's time to celebrate. Okay. How can I surrender even more in this moment? Yeah, this card has been coming out a lot. It's I'll read it to you. It is essential to have clear, strong intentions of what we desire, but it's equally important for us to detach from the outcome. It's time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to work. Let go of the wheel and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but is coming. Yeah. So it's a little bit like, you may be waiting on a settlement or, some information, right? But you're pushing. You could be like, emailing your lawyer or a future employer or something all the time. Is kind of like, when are you going to make your decision? Or you could be talking to your guides, but remember, they are divinely timing this so that you can have the ending that you want, something that is worth celebrating. If you push this too fast or you want it to come in a certain way, right, you may not get the celebration that you want. So it's about, okay, I'm going to let off a little bit and allow the universe to help me out here. And it is about believing, knowing, okay? Once again, knowing, having that intuitive energy that this is going to come in your highest good, right? And allowing the universe to do their work. And just saying, great, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what is not yet here, but I know is coming. Wow, really incredible energy. Leo, I do personal readings. If you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. And I do really appreciate all of your support through likes, comments, and subscribing. And I really wish you much love and light. Stay hopeful, believe it's coming. It really is coming. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.